Drive. This is in West University. This is the gorgeous Gale, which is the official home of Soccer Matters ESPN 97.5 during this World Cup. We have, oh man, a day of real contrast to yesterday. Yesterday, 10 goals. Today, 4. 2 matches that go to penalty kicks. And today, we get advancing both Russia and Croatia. They will meet now in a quarterfinal to go with yesterday's Uruguay-France. Tomorrow it is Mexico, Brazil, Belgium, Japan. Call-in number right now. Anything to say on the World Cup, including these 2 matches today, 713-780-3776. 713-780-3776. We've got Houston Dynamo tickets to give away. I've got a beautiful soccer ball brought to us by Nike. My good friend Joe Elsmore at Nike, so we'll be raffling that off today. We got some mugs and some other goodies over here. So if you're out and about on the town, you're driving through West University, come on in and join us. We will have one very despondent Danish fan on the show today, Jan Christensen of Danish Inspirations. We'll get a little bit from him today. We'll hear from Naib Moran, formerly of ESPN FC. He's going to come on today to talk about the Mexico-Brazil matchup. And then we should have in a half hour one of the younger players on the Houston Dynamo, Eric Bird, will join us. We'll get some World Cup thoughts from Eric. The Dynamo are in action on Tuesday against LAFC at BBVA Compass Stadium. It's very hard to get into anything other than the World Cup in the current moment and stage here. The gorgeous scale was absolutely packed, and people going nuts on the penalties here today. We got some Croatian fans in the back with those beautiful checkerboard jerseys. They're leaving very happy here. It's been a great start to, we got 5 more live shows here, including this coming Thursday here at the gorgeous Gale. Again, 713-780-3776 is the number to call in today. Disappointed? Are you disappointed that these games went to penalties today? Let's talk about this. Are you disappointed? Because this was a bit of a different day in this World Cup. We haven't had many days where teams were very cautious. We went into yesterday talking about, all right, would teams in the round of 16 all of a sudden become gripped with fear, would play more cautious? And we certainly saw that today from 4 teams. I don't think there's any question, and I would even include Spain there, because I don't think Spain was brave and cavalier enough to go after a very deep defending Russia today. So I'm going to say this was a very different day than it was yesterday. Yesterday we had 10 goals. We had very open play. We had teams that were willing to throw people into the attack, which led to mistakes and other things happening. So let's 713-780-3776, 713-780-3776. Again, we're at 5555 Morningside Drive. It is the gorgeous Gale. Going into this game, Russia and Spain, I'll start with that. There was questions about the Spanish defense, about David De Gea. Russia's saying they were going to exploit a high Spanish defensive line. That never really happened. I think at the end of the day, the real story in this game was the fact that, you know, for me, Spain did not bring enough. And you can cry all you want and say Spain had the possession and everything. They did not do enough to create chances. Their tempo, I think, remained very flatlined and very similar throughout the match. I believe there was not enough risk taken. I mean, if I saw Koke hit a lateral ball right or left 101 times, I would say I might be underestimating it. It might have been 105 times. Where was the courage to play forward and penetrating balls today from Spain? So I honestly don't feel that bad for Spain. They didn't have it in them. They couldn't do it. They couldn't break down a very deep defending Russia who, you know, for all intents and purposes, fought like animals and then ended up winning it, obviously, in penalties. So penalties is a crapshoot. I think we know that. Yesterday it was France 4, Argentina 3, in direct contrast to games with penalties. 7 goals. We saw the emergence of a young star in Kylian Mbappe, at 19 years of age, scoring 2 goals 5 minutes apart for France in the second half. We saw Pavard's wonderful slashing half volley. That was a wonderful goal to bring France back into it. Then we saw Uruguay with a 2-1 win over Portugal. They play what was nearly a perfect first 45 minutes in that game. Edinson Cavani doing a double in that game, getting both goals, including hitting that beautifully measured angled ball, then getting in the box on the end of a cross from Luis Suarez. Cavani apparently has a hamstring injury. I don't know.
We have a caller. Christian wants to talk about the end of the matches.
We'll try and see if we can get more information on Cavani and this hamstring injury, but I sure hope he does not miss the semifinals against Portugal. All right, let's go to the phone line. We'll start it off here. 713-780-3776. Let's go to Christian. What's on your mind, Christian?
Good late afternoon, Glenn Davis. How are you, sir?
Man, I thought I was watching every minute of the World Cup. I think you are, Christian. Every second.
Yeah.
You're not missing a play.
Yes, as crazy enough, I have been watching every single minute of the World Cup, even the ones that you and Kobe Jones commentated.
Well, why would that be crazy? Why? That's not crazy. If that's crazy, much of the United States and Houston is crazy because everybody's watching the World Cup.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, to be honest, I don't think that up until next year when the Women's World Cup happens in France, we probably won't get this excited about soccer until after the MLS season ends. And speaking of, when it comes down to today's World Cup matches ending in shootouts, do you think that changed the perception about, people thinking most soccer games are boring up until the final moments?
Well, it depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to a Danish fan, a Danish fan is going to tell you, hey, it was great. We pushed Croatia. We weren't expected to beat Croatia. We pushed them to the brink on penalty kicks. If you're talking to a Croatian fan, they don't care. They advanced. Sometimes you have a match in your journey and in this navigation of a World Cup. Now, if you're talking mainstream fan in the United States, mainstream fan loved, somebody from another sport that's not a real soccer fan, they love the penalty kicks. I can tell you that. They didn't love maybe having to wait for them for 2 hours, but they love the penalty kicks. That I don't think is any question. But look, this was one day where I'm going to say soccer got very conservative in this World Cup. Up until now, it's been spectacular. There's been 30 goals scored in the 80th minute. And on in the group stages, there's been 20 scored in the 90th minute on into the stoppage time.
Wow.
So these are remarkable statistics. There's 2.5 goals per match being scored. So today was a day where we saw 4 teams that were very, very conservative. I don't think that's not telling the truth. That's what we saw. They were not willing to commit people into the attack. They didn't take a lot of risk, and that's how they decided to approach the game. I don't think we're going to see that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. when Brazil takes on Mexico. I don't think that's not going to happen tomorrow morning. It's against
when it comes down to later on that day when Belgium takes on Japan.
Right. It's against the nature of teams like Brazil, Mexico, Belgium to play like that. Different countries have to play different ways. They bridge the talent gap with collective deep defending. We've seen that. I think the days of just sitting back like Russia and getting out of a game like that, you have to be incredibly fortunate. And I also think it was the ineptness of Spain in that game as well, because nowadays you can defend deep, but you have to have portions of the game where you elect to pressure a little bit higher. I thought Denmark actually was a better team in the second half. I thought they wrestled back a little bit of the midfield play. But again, it was 2 teams that could not punctuate what they were doing with anything in the final third. There were maybe 1 or 2 moments that we got excited about, but in the end, it really didn't yield a lot in the final third of the field, and it ended up being, one dramatic moment where Peter Schmeichel saves an exhausted penalty from Luka Modric.
I see. And one more question before I get off and before you go to the callers. With Croatia and Russia winning, do you see their chances of going to the round of 4, the semifinals, getting any easier?
Well, they're going to play in the quarterfinals, so it's
okay.
Yeah, it's Croatia, Russia. It's Croatia, Russia. So the winner of that is going to be in the last 4 teams of the World Cup. That's hard to even fathom that Russia's got a game to play to get to the last 4 when a lot of people were predicting they weren't even going to get out of the group stages.
And as far as Croatia, many people didn't think that they were going to make it this far either, huh?
No, Croatia, after some of the group play, there were a lot more people jumping on that bandwagon. They've got a midfield that contains players from Real Madrid and Barcelona. Rakitic, Modric, these are world-class soccer players. Modric has had a great tournament. I don't think, this was his best game from a creative standpoint. And I don't think it was Christian Eriksen's best game for Denmark either. So there you have it, Christian.
Right.
My humble opinion.
Thanks for having me on as always, and I will talk to you on social media at Glenn Davis SLC.
All right, you got it, Christian. Thank you very much. That's 713-780-3776. Almost forgot that number, Tyler Scott. How could that happen? 713-780-3776. I'm honored to have the legendary Tyler Scott next to me. He's moved on to greener pastures, but was the producer for quite a long time for Soccer Matters, which we appreciated his work. 713-780-3776 is the number to call in, 713-780-3776. Is this a World Cup now to you that has gotten a little bit less interesting due to the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal and Lionel Messi in Argentina are out? Has it gotten a little bit different to you now? Look, networks, sponsors all want Ronaldo and Messi to be in it. They're all gone. Neymar's ability to now take the platform of this World Cup with Brazil begins in the morning against Mexico. Here's what Cristiano Ronaldo had to say recently after the exit of Portugal. He said, "I'm happy. I'm leaving here content because things went pretty well in general. We're going out with heads held high, and the Portugal team will continue to win things." To my mind, this is still Ronaldo speaking, Portugal played better than Uruguay. Well, I would say that's debatable. Second half, maybe. We had chances, but that is football for you. The team that scores more goals wins. No kidding. Which is why Uruguay are celebrating. Cristiano Ronaldo would be 37 in Qatar for the next World Cup and whatever the future might bring to him. But, he started the tournament off with a bang against Spain with the hat trick. Scored off the free kick to draw level in that game late. Scored off a penalty kick, and then he hit one that David De Gea made a mess of. But that was Ronaldo speaking on Portugal. So does it bother you now that Messi and Ronaldo aren't in, or does it make it a more interesting World Cup? Is it kind of interesting that the giants have been eliminated like Argentina and Germany, and we could potentially get a first-time World Cup winner? That's what I would love to see. I'd love to see a Belgium. I was going to say Croatia, but I want to see Croatia produce a little bit more from the attacking side of soccer.
On time for a break.
713-780-3776 is the number, 713-780-3776. We remind you we are at the Gorgeous Gale, 5555 Morningside Drive. Let's take some more calls, 713-780-3776. And by the way, it is not too late to get Tranquility Home Systems out and my friend Jesse. Get you hooked up. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the latest 4K video technology. You can call Jesse. This is his personal phone number, 281-506-7822, www.ths3inc.com. They do lighting design, motorized shades, but he'll get your home theater set up, and you can get it set up before the World Cup final. Jesse, 281-506-7822, THS3inc.com. We'll take a break. Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5. Give us a call, 713-780-3776.
Clear.
Let's talk about.
You want me to come back with another highlight or what?
Yeah.
Last month, Duran started his information technology
Come
career,
back with White Lines
50% more money.
by Duran Duran.
Don't love what you do? Go to
And then,
mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Yeah,
You
so
could
we're gonna
start
do about
your new life as
6-7
an IT
minutes.
pro in
Wow.
as little
Okay.
as
What do you want to give away?
1 minute.
Why not agile business, nimble business, dance circles around the
We
big
can do
bulky
stuff in
behemoths
between.
business.
Sure.
UMA
Did you
Office,
get
the
enough?
small
Did you get
business
enough?
phone solution, has a virtual
Nice
receptionist
Monterey
that directs
jersey.
calls to the right extension and a mobile
Nice.
app to help you answer while away from the office. But all that's small really is the price, starting at only $19.95
What's his name?
a month. Visit UMA.
Harrison?
Edward.
Edward, okay.
646499377
Hold
to
on.
find out more. UMA, the phone your small business does.
30 seconds to rejoin.
I'm Captain Obvious, and
You tell him about
Hotels.com
that. You
rewards
tell
me
him.
basically
I'm gonna
everywhere I stay.
Thanks.
So why am I currently skipping stones with 4 locals and 1 grizzly bear outside this Riverside Lodge in Portland? Because Hotels.com lets me do
Oh,
me.
wow.
15 seconds.
Honestly, the bear just kind of joined
Is
in.
that Van
and now we're
Williams
afraid that if we
that
stop,
I know?
he'll get angry. He can smell our fear. Hotels.com. You do you and get rewarded.
Edwin, right?
This is a RentersWarehouse.com roadshow, live from the gorgeous Gale in Rice Village. This is Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN975.com.
The first hour of Soccer Matters is brought to you by Texas Children's Hospital. Here's Glenn Davis.
Thanks, Al.
All right, welcome back to the gorgeous Gale, 55-55 Morningside Drive. It was packed in here today for the World Cup, and again, reminding us here in the city of Houston how many great soccer fans we have from all over the world, quite frankly. 713-780-3776. So if you're out and about on the town, you're driving around, pull into the gorgeous Gale. We're raffling off tickets to various professional games. We got a beautiful Nike soccer ball, courtesy my buddy Joe Elsmore. These are the ones we give out at Texas Children's Hospital to the patients. 713-780-3776. Are you upset that Messi and Ronaldo have been eliminated from the World Cup? Are you into shootouts and penalties? Did you enjoy that today, or did you see today as a very cautious day in the World Cup like I did? That's what I saw. Andreas Iniesta has retired from Spain, so he made that official right after the game. On Facebook, Van Williams, by the way, round of applause for Andreas Iniesta, right? Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was a good call from that young man over there. 713-780-3776. Facebook Soccer Matters. Van Williams says, quote, I love shootouts. I'm assuming he means penalties. If that's the Van Williams I know, I think that's what he means. All right, that's Envision Van Williams. 713-780-3776. Let's go to the phone lines. I think it's Edwin. Edwin, Edward, how are you?
Good. I just wanted to talk about, ask you about tomorrow's game, and if you give Mexico any shot to win.
Of course I do. I'll tell you why I give Mexico a shot to win. Now, World Cup history will tell you that Mexico has never beaten Brazil in a World Cup, I believe, maybe 4 or 5 meetings. Mexico will go into this with the opportunity of a lifetime as a soccer-playing nation. Can you imagine if tomorrow, after that game, you're saying you eliminated both Germany and Brazil? Mexico always lives up to it against Brazil, in my opinion, for the most part. They just don't get a result. But they live up to it. So I believe they're going to live up to it tomorrow because it will be more of an open game. That's why I think Mexico against Sweden is a little bit more difficult for them. A deep defending, physical team is not what Mexico likes. There will be space for Mexico to attack. There will be moments when, if they can recognize opportunities when Brazil's team shape is a little bit off, and if they see those moments quickly, like a beach ball, if they really see them and hit the right first pass, they can be off and running just like they were against Brazil and hit them on the counterattack. Those moments will be there for them. Now, that said, they're going to have moments where they're pretty compact and defend well as a team. But I don't think there's any question that this is an incredible opportunity for Mexico tomorrow. They have to respond against the beatdown after Sweden. And they should be at this moment still sending thank you postcards to South Korea, quite frankly, because nobody ever expected those results. But Mexico took heavy criticism after the Swedish lost. And as much as this is about Neymar grabbing the mantle here, I would go to Philip Coutinho as really my player for Brazil right now that's probably not getting enough credit just because of the whole Neymar overshadowing. Coutinho's got 2 goals and an assist out of the 5 that Mexico has scored. So you were going to say something.
Yeah, like especially with Marcelo out for, he's not going to start tomorrow's game. I think that opens up a little bit of, the width that Mexico likes to play with. But we'll see. I know it's going to be a tough matchup, and as a Mexican fan, we always dream of the Quinto Partido, but I have hope.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think Marcelo, they say, is going to be on the bench. But then what do you do with Willian, Paulinho, Coutinho, Neymar, Gabriel Jesus? I mean, it's just an unbelievable assortment of talent. But I'm gonna sit here right now and say Mexico's going to live up tomorrow. They're going to compete against Brazil. I'm not going to say that they're going to get a result, but I'm going to say Mexico's going to shine proudly tomorrow against Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, by the way, Chicharito.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you very much, Edward. By the way, Chicharito has 1 shot on goal, and that was a goal he scored against Korea. 1 shot on goal. So, Mexico, service your penalty area predator. You're going to need to do that. 713-780-3776. Any other callers?
Nope.
713-780-3776. I bring in now from Danish Inspirations Contemporary Furniture. He's sad. We've had to walk him back off the ledge today. He's got on his Denmark jersey. He is Jan Christensen. Jan, it was a big day for the Danes, and it was an assemblage of 70 Danish people watching the game together. I didn't realize we had that many Danes in Houston.
Well, actually, we got a lot of Danish inspiration in Denmark.
Yes.
In Houston.
We have a lot of Danish inspiration.
And
for sure.
it's been a high blood pressure day, and we've seen some soccer that was quite contrary to what we saw yesterday. We saw teams lying deep and teams not creating like France and Uruguay did yesterday. But I think Denmark came out of the game with a hit high, because I think actually in the second half we were at least just as good as Croatia, and we just need a really goal scorer. I think that's what we need for the real goal scorer.
Rough day for the 2 playmakers for both teams, Christian Eriksen and then also for Luka Modric as well.
Christian had a bad day. He actually only made 1 or 2 good passes, and then, as you said, when we took the penalty kick, his day is going to be ruined if he misses his penalty kick, and it was definitely ruined. And but penalty kicks is always a gamble, and it's just a coin toss. So I believe that we came out with our heads high, and
absolutely.
I now is gonna go with another deep team, Sweden, and see how far they can go, because Denmark is out, but I really believe Croatia could beat Russia, but in this World Cup. Anybody can beat anybody, so it's hard to predict right now what's going to happen. But I predict a semifinal between Croatia and England. That's my prediction. I'm going out on a limb here.
Hey, my Colombian friends in Houston are not going to like you.
I know.
Colombian fans, did you just hear that? You just heard a Danish Inspirations Contemporary Furniture saying that England is going to knock Colombia out. So I'm expecting a phone call from some of the Colombian Los Cafeteros. Come on. Make the phone call right now. You're not going to stand for that. I know you're driving in your car right now. 713-780-3776. Yeah, and before I let you go, tell us what you got going on at Danish Inspirations Contemporary Furniture, because, by the way, when I'm not here at the gorgeous Gale at 5555 Morningside, I'm on my beautiful Danish Inspirations. This couch, I swear, is like the size of a small yacht. I can stretch out on this thing. Describe my couch,
it's
because you can it's reclinable.
Pull the back and make them another 4 feet longer, and it's a great couch, and it looks great in your room. I must say, it looks great.
It's ultra contemporary too. I mean, sometimes you think, okay, you got these module couches.
That's right.
No. This thing is sleek. It's clean.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful thing. My dog actually gets more use out of it than I do.
I noticed that. Yeah. Good. And right now, we have, of course, our big summer sale going on, but we also have a World Cup competition where you come in and you answer 3 questions about the World Cup, and you enter to win a $3,000 gift certificate. And you know, the odds are a lot better than the Texas Lottery because we'll probably have 100 people or so entering, and you know this.
Can I drop my name in that hat?
No,
I'm not allowed.
No, you're insider. You're an insider.
That's true.
But we'll have the drawing right after the World Cup final, and we'll announce that on Facebook and everything. So follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and follow
DanishInspirations.com.
And go to DanishInspirations.com. Thank you, Glenn.
Yes.
And of course, I don't want Glenn talked about earlier being discouraged that some of the big teams are out, but you know, this is the game of soccer. It's a beautiful game, and no matter what, don't stop watching because a few of the great players are out. We'll have new players coming out now. So listen to Soccer Matters. Listen to Soccer Matters every week. Okay, Glenn, thanks a lot.
No,
thanks.
you're not leaving without. Give us the goal call. Come on,
right.
on the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Denmark goal!
That is
all right.
Danish Inspirations, Contemporary Furniture.
Right.
Jan Christensen. Thank you very much, Jan, for your support of soccer. All right, let's get to the phone lines. Andy wants to talk Mexico, Brazil. What's on your mind, Andy?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, I just wanted to comment tomorrow. I think the Marcelo not playing is like there's I think a good and a bad. The good is that Marcelo has best left fullback in the world, likes to attack, likes to make crosses. I think the bad thing is, though, his replacement, Luis, from Atletico Madrid, he's not. I think he's going to sit back a little more, which means that I think the Mexicans have less of a chance to counterattack because he's going to tend to not go forward as much as Marcelo does. So it's kind of yin and yang thing. I think having said that, the Brazilians just have too much talent.
Well, I love that you're bringing this point up because there's a yin and yang to that. Because if Mexico is going to try to counterattack, you have to have space to counterattack in. And Marcelo had 131 touches on the ball against Costa Rica. So that reminds you how vital he is to starting the attack for that team, right? And getting into the attack. In fact, he plays in the middle third of the field and the attacking third of the field more than he does in the defending third of the field. So much goes through him. Now, on the other hand, you mentioned, his replacement will be probably more of a stay-at-home defender, certainly more than Marcelo. So, he'll be there to contend with the counterattack, and they may not lose their shape quite as much. But who knows which way it's going to go. But I think the circle is around Marcelo. A lot of people are talking about that. And I do think that's an area to really watch tomorrow. Mexico's got to make a change at the back because there's no Hector Moreno. I believe that's Ayala that's going to come in. Do we continue, obviously, with Guardado and Herrera? Chucky Lozano's got to come up big in this. Vela, Layun. Chicharito needs more chances created for him. And if you're Mexico, you're going to hope as L3 that they may come on the counterattack at times and breaking out because we know Mexico can break out.
Yep. And then on your question about whether we like penalty kicks or not.
Yes.
I love penalty kicks, finishing up, but I hate the extra time because by the time you get the extra time, these guys, their legs are so heavy. It's the most, I think, boring 30 minutes. By the time they get there, they just want to get to the penalty kicks. I think that's the problem with the extra time. Is just they're just too damn tired to try anything, and they're too scared to take chances. Therefore, it's try to get to the penalty kicks. That's the only problem I think with the extra time. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thank you very much, Andy. 713-780-3776. Who's got a comment?
We have Eric Bird. Need a break?
On the comments. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with one of the younger talents of the Houston Dynamo. His name is Erick Bird. He was a very talented college player at the University of Virginia. We've had him on the show once before, and he's one of the guys that does love talking soccer today. So we'll come back. We'll talk some World Cup with Houston Dynamo Erick Bird. When we come back, we'll continue to take your phone calls at 713-780-3776. A very different day today in the World Cup. A day of very, very conservative soccer. Not quite like yesterday where there were 10 goals scored. Today, only 4. 2 matches that go to penalty kicks. Let's hope the norm is 2 days ago and not today. We'll take a quick break. As we go to break, I just want to remind you about Bud Light. The World Cup's here. The games are being played during working hours. So tomorrow, the Mexico game's during working hour. Now, this commercial read is perfect for you. There is only one thing is going to help us survive the catastrophe of the 9 a.m. game tomorrow during work hours. It's our friends. So here's the plan. With them, it's easier to sneak away from your boss, make up excuses, and extend your lunch break or your morning coffee break to 90-something minutes. So here's to the friend you can always count on. Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the 2018 World Cup games and proud sponsor of Soccer Matters ESPN 97.5. We'll take a Bud Light break with that.
Raheel Ramzanali here, and it's time to get rid of last year's junk, and that means
okay, we're doing a raffle here for anybody. Is there a number 34 in the house tonight for a Nike soccer ball? You get a Nike soccer ball, number 34 in the house. Where's number 34? No. 34 went home. 10 seconds, 9, 8.
You get a $50 gift card.
Okay, there's no 34, right?
You're helping out
okay, let's try another one. Here we go. Number 28.
Not the kid.
The following is an example of the Schlitterbahn First Response Contest.
All right, 28 is in the house. Congratulations. You have a Nike soccer ball. Sir, come on up here and have your picture taken, please. Victor, do you have a camera? We have a Nike soccer ball winner. What's your name?
Ricky.
Congratulations.
I feel like that wasn't correct at all.
I couldn't name a single one.
Try your luck at the Schlitterbahn First Response Contest Thursdays at 10:30 with John and Raheel with Dell.
What is NASCAR?
Thank you. You're welcome.
2 minutes.
All right, we have a Soccer Matters mug emblazoned in 24-karat gold. Retails for $24.95. Number 29. Do you drink coffee and do you like a mug? No, 29 is not here. Let's try 31. Is there a 31 in the house? No 31. 32.
Hi, this is Harold Gott.
And this is Bill Olson asking you to join us Sunday mornings at 7 for Texas Outdoor News.
It's the country's
35. Anybody with 35?
Good reason.
We bring you information and
35 is a winner.
And guests you'll want to listen to from the industry and the field.
Now in our 25th
Chances
year
are
as
pretty
Texas'
good,
favorite
actually.
outdoor radio show, Texas Outdoor News is brought to you by
chances
Ford
are
Trucks
pretty
and
good.
Best in Texas Ford dealers. Join us Sunday mornings 7 to 8
All right.
on ESPN 97.5.
Glenn Davis here, host
1 minute.
Yes, sir.
FM
Eric
Kitchen
Bird
and
is
Bar.
there?
It's located one block
Yes.
All right.
on Shepherd. Now
do
hit
it.
up FM Kitchen and Bar this summer to watch the World Cup from Russia on 13 indoor and outdoor monitors. FM Kitchen and Bar has amazing burgers, chicken sandwiches, and Southern classic food, including ribs.
We weren't doing
great
well
beer
in the
selection,
30s.
and classic cocktails done well. FM Kitchen and Bar also has an amazing patio, is dog and kid friendly. Catch the World Cup at FM Kitchen and Bar.
Attention.
30 seconds.
When's the last time you had your AC service? Is it ready for another brutal summer? Call Courtesy Air Conditioning and Heating today. Whether your current system needs a routine service check or you need a whole new system, Tom, Brad, and the certified techs at Courtesy AC have you covered. Servicing the Houston area for over 30 years, Courtesy AC is available to service
Salcedo and
repair
Ayala,
your
right?
10 seconds.
Center backs.
Call 713-278-9933,
Salcedo.
713-278-9933.
I always keep thinking of the
or
other
visit
one.
CourtesyACOnline.com.
Alvarez Gallardo.
This is a RentersWarehouse.com roadshow. Live from the gorgeous Gale in Rice Village. This is Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN975.com.
The first hour of Soccer Matters is brought to you by Texas Children's Hospital. Here's Glenn Davis.
Thanks,
All right, welcome back to Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5. Our thanks to the Texas Children's Hospital, amazing place here in Houston that works in so many big capacities here. Texas Children's Hospital and Cancer and Hematology Center. It's the largest pediatric cancer center in the country. Over 190 physicians and scientists, 46 labs. It's a huge part of the medical center. 200 active clinical trials. Currently being dedicated solely to childhood cancer and blood disorders. So for more than 60 years, Texas Children's Hospital has pioneered many of the now standard protocols for treating and curing childhood cancer. So a big thank you to Texas Children's Hospital. I'm going to get this moving right now. We're going to get to Erick Bird, one of the Houston Dynamo midfielders called up from the Rio Grande Valley. Erick, thank you very much for coming on. How are you?
I'm doing well, Glenn. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, always a pleasure. I enjoyed having you on the last time. So thinking about you, I'm saying this is a guy that's not missing much of the World Cup. So how about just some general Eric Bird impressions on the 2018 World Cup so far?
Well, I think it's definitely met all and exceeded all expectations thus far. When you look at soccer as a game and, how it is around the world, everyone's, such a big fan of it. It's the biggest sport in the world. And, the tournament's lived up to its billing, and there's been nothing but nonstop late drama and excitement, and I just think it's been great so far.
Are you disappointed that Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal and Lionel Messi in Argentina have been eliminated?
Yeah, disappointed. I always love to watch those guys play. I think they're both just in a different class by themselves, just in terms of the production and just their whole aura that they bring with them. But it's cool because it gives another team and another player a chance to step up on a big stage, and maybe the next one can come along.
Like maybe Mbappe of France, who produced those 2 goals in 5 minutes yesterday. So when you look at that guy and you say he's 19 years old, isn't that kind of hard to fathom?
It's incredible. It's incredible what he's doing. He's such a special player, and to rise to the occasion like he has, and to be so young, it really is incredible to think about.
He's Eric Bird. You can call in. You can talk to us, 713-780-3776. Houston Dynamo back in action on Tuesday against LAFC. You can get tickets at HoustonDynamo.com. So Major League Soccer is rolling again. World Cup is in the round of 16. What's it like as a player now training? You guys going into training, and your practices are, for the most part, they're closed. Nobody's really allowed to watch them. But when you guys are in training, are you all talking about the World Cup much? Do you sense the World Cup around you, or is it really all focused on MLS right now?
Well, we're definitely focused on what we're doing in our job at hand, but there is definitely some buzz around. There's some friendly banter going on. There's players on our team from nations that are at the World Cup, and so everyone's having fun. Obviously, Colombia with Wilmer and Mara, they're supporting their country. Thomas Martinez from Argentina, Philippe with Switzerland, Adam Lundqvist with Sweden. It's a really colorful environment, and so that I'm sure all those guys have some funny banter going on, and especially with knockout stages coming up. Or now that they're underway, it's raised up a level.
Hey, by the way, how is Tomas Martinez? What was his reaction like after Argentina's elimination?
Tommy, we don't see Tommy because he has to watch the games by himself. He's too much of a nervous wreck, I think. But I'm sure he's not doing too well after that.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a tough World Cup for Argentina. I don't think there's any question. Do you talk to the guys on your team that have been to the World Cup? Because if you look at the Dynamo, there's a ton of people that have played in World Cups. DeMarcus Beasley in 4 of them. Felipe Senderos in 3. Boniek Garcia has played in World Cups. Wilmer Cabrera, the manager, has played in World Cups. What do they say? Have you asked them about World Cups and what it's like, or is there not really that much of that type of conversation?
Sometimes they'll share with us their experiences, and obviously it's just an incredible experience, and the amount of pressure on them, you just can't really imagine. One story that sticks out to me was actually in the qualifying for the World Cup. Philippe was sharing with me his memories of a game he played in Turkey, and I think that they had to go there and win or advance on goal differential or get a draw at least. And just the chaos that ensued. They were able to get the result, but the chaos that ensued afterwards with a huge brawl. I think it's a pretty famous game. He was 19 at the time, and he just said that everybody, just their whole world revolves around this tournament. And so the stakes are raised, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Houston's been responding. I mean, the bars have been packed. I don't think any question we knew that was going to happen, but there's all kinds of watch parties today. There was one with the probably 70, 80, 90 people from Denmark, all in red Denmark jerseys. It's quite fantastic. One thing I wanted to ask you about is obviously tomorrow Mexico takes on Brazil. It's a huge, huge game. Are you, based on the time now, you guys training in the evening, you're able to watch all these games, right? So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't know if that was pre-planned or it just happened to work out, but either way, we're not complaining. It's fantastic to watch the World Cup, and it's so fun.
Mexico against Brazil. Now, I was talking earlier, and we've taken a few phone calls, that Mexico always seems to live up to it against Brazil. They live up to the competition from an effort standpoint and the type of soccer they produce. They don't always get the results, obviously, but how do you see Mexico and Brazil tomorrow?
I think it's going to be a really tight game. I think it's going to be tighter than some people might think. Obviously, Brazil has a lot of firepower going forward, but Mexico is, like you said, they play up to the competition, and they've got some really quality players, guys that can change the game. And, you know, as games have showed in this tournament, that's all you really need is one or two game changers. And as long as you're organized and you can, you know, keep a clean sheet or not allow too many goals, then any team can get through to the next round.
All right, your favorite player that you've watched in this World Cup up to this point?
I think Luka Modric has been my favorite player. I know he didn't have the best game today. I think he would tell you that himself, but I just think he's just incredible. He's someone that plays a similar position to me. He's very cerebral. He's very, very smart. Great first touch, great technique. He can get forward. He works his butt off, and, you know, he does everything for his teammates. And I just think that he's an incredible player. I really like watching him play.
Eric, thank you very much. I kind of figured you were going to go towards a midfielder, and you did, and that was a pretty darn good choice. So, listen, thank you very much. Best of luck against LAFC on Tuesday when the Dynamo are back in action, and thank you for taking the time to come on the program.
Of course, anytime. Thank you for having me again, Glenn.
All right, we'll do it again sometime. That's Eric Bird of the Houston Dynamo, midfielder, was down at Rio Grande Valley. The Dynamo signed him to a full contract. He came up, played at the University of Virginia, and was one of the top players in the ACC. Again, the Dynamo in action on Tuesday against LAFC, HoustonDynamo.com. We're at 5555 Morningside Drive. This is the Gorgeous Gale. It is the official Soccer Matters ESPN 97.5 headquarters. This is live show number 2 of 7. We'll be back here on Thursday night again. So get ready to come out here again on Thursday night. We're going to have some special guests coming in and a couple of other things going on. So that will be Thursday from 7 to 9 Central. All right, let's take a break here. More to come on Soccer Matters ESPN 97.5. It was a big day in the World Cup. Teams advancing, including Croatia and Russia. They will square off in the quarterfinals. Uruguay and France already there. Big day tomorrow with Mexico and Brazil, Belgium, Japan. Let's start getting your thoughts on Mexico, Brazil, Belgium, Japan. 713-780-3776. 713-780-3776.
Clear.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Glenn Davis here for Soccer Matters. The place to be in Edo is the King's Court.
Hey, Glenn, you still want to call Eddie Robinson today?
No, because he's now in a place, you know, because of we went overtime.
Yeah.
Pub-style cuisine is also a winner at King.
All right. Well, we had Arun, but he dropped. You want to talk about goalkeepers? But he dropped. Maybe he could be encouraged to call back.
Sure.
But that's it right now.
On,
with PatriotSoftware.com.
the Gorgeous Gale. Big day of World Cup watching here. It started at 9 a.m. this morning, and both games going extra time, so people saw another 60 minutes of probably pretty cautious soccer, and then it was on to penalty kicks in both, and certainly the drama of penalty kicks. Are penalty kicks an indication that today that teams were very conservative? Yeah, I would say so. There were moments here or there, but you know, even when teams penetrated, they didn't seem to commit that many forward into the attack. They kept a block of 6 or 7 players back defensively throughout the day. That's everybody except Spain. I think we have to tip our cap to one of the legendary players of all time, Andres Iniesta, announcing his retirement after Spain was eliminated from the World Cup. So Spanish fans, where are you? Was this team overhyped? In many ways, maybe like you know, Argentina? Spain or Argentina? Whose exit is more surprising to you? This is a team with David De Gea, Jordi Alba, Sergio Ramos, Gerard Piqué, Nacho, Koke, Sergio Busquets, Asensio, Isco, David Silva, Diego Costa. Was Diego Costa a nightmare today for Spanish fans? 713-780-3776. 713-780-3776. Today going out to Russia, who played with a 38-year-old center back, Ignashevich, who hit his penalty with ultimate calm and composure against Spain. It was Russia over Spain 4-3 on penalty kicks. 1-1 after 90 minutes. An own goal that Spain scored. I never thought that Spain put it into overdrive in the first half to get a second goal. And as many people mentioned before the game, the longer you allowed Russia to hang into this, the more that self-belief began to gather, possibility began to gather. Fans got behind them and began to lift them. They had something to play for. Entire country. Can you imagine what Russia is like right now if you just stop for a second and think about it? My friends that are over there doing commentary, I've gotten some text messages, and they say Russia's absolutely going crazy in Moscow, where some of them are. So pretty remarkable. 713-780-3776. Who's the bigger disappointment? Is it, was that? Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your coffee in that mug. 713-780-3776 is the number. 713-780-3776 is the number to call in. Biggest disappointment, is it Argentina or Spain? And I got to throw Germany in there as well. Who's the biggest disappointment to you? 713-780-3776 is the number to call in right now. So again, tomorrow, Mexico, Brazil. We're going to talk to Naib Moran. Going to begin to break down Mexico and Brazil. How big of a loss is Marcelo going to be in this? How big of a loss will Marcelo be in the left back position? Not expected to start. That's what's being told. He will be on the bench for Brazil, apparently. 713-780-3776 is the number. Spain was incredibly disappointing here today. Tempo, the way the ball was being moved, it didn't seem to get off people's feet very quickly. It was very methodical. A lot of very straight, flat lateral passes. Tons of those. They had over 1,000 passes put together. I think 1,200 passes to 200 and something for Russia, which shows you how much of the ball they had, but did they create a lot of chances? Spain, 1,029 passes to Russia's 202. It's kind of a pretty bizarre stat to think about. Mexico and Brazil meet for the 5th time at the World Cup. Mexico has never beaten Brazil in a World Cup. Javier Chicharito Hernandez got his 4th World Cup goal. He's now tied with Luis Hernandez, El Matador, as Mexico's all-time World Cup leading scorer. He also became the 3rd player to score in 3 different World Cups. So this is the 3rd World Cup Chicharito has scored in. That said, Chicharito has only one shot on goal in 270 minutes. That came against South Korea, and that was his goal. So there is a question as to how to get more out of Chicharito, and that's obviously with width and penetration and his movement and mobility in a penalty area. Andres Guardado won his 150th cap for Mexico, just the second Mexican player to achieve that after Claudio Suarez. Mexico continue to do it. They progress from the group stage, but can they advance from the round of 16? This is where it gets a bit dicey for Mexico. Plus, they're coming off a 3-0 loss to Sweden. And I'd love for Mexican fans to tell me what happened against Sweden. Is it simply the matchup? Is it simply the strength and power of Sweden, the deep defensive blocks, a struggle against the European team? And does that make it more favorable for Mexico to be playing a Brazil as opposed to a Sweden? Who would you prefer to have, Brazil or Sweden? In case of Mexico, it may be Brazil. 713-780-3776. So we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back with more. I think we'll bring Naib Moran on here, and we'll talk a little bit of Mexico and Brazil tomorrow, and we'll try to break this down. We'll take your phone calls at 713-780-3776. 713-780-3776. Mexico's not in a great place right now. They're getting a lot of criticism. But I would say flip that and say what an incredible opportunity tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time for Mexico against Brazil. What will the lineup be for Mexico? Ochoa, Gallardo, Salcedo, Ayala, Alvarez, Guardado, Herrera, Lozano, Vela, Miguel Layún, Chicharito Hernandez, Chucky Lozano. How important is the first goal as well against Brazil? We'll take a break here. Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5. We roll on from the gorgeous Gale. 55-55 Morningside Drive is the place. Give us a call. Give us your take on this World Cup at 713-780-3776. We'll take a Bud Light break.
This is Fred Bauer, and if you're anything like me, then you enjoy drinking alcohol. But let's be honest, once you hit the age of about 30, even just a few drinks makes you feel less than 100% the next day. That's why I use Thrive Plus, a product I recently saw on Shark Tank. It's designed to reduce alcohol's negative effects and make you feel better the next day. To use Thrive Plus, just take 3 capsules after your last alcoholic beverage or before going to bed. It's that simple, and now I refuse to drink without it. To order Thrive Plus, just go to DecideThrive.com. That's DecideThrive.com.
Hey, Glenn Davis here of Soccer Matters for my friends at Advantage BMW Midtown. Now, I've driven a BMW for years. In fact, I've leased and bought from Advantage numerous times. I love the drive of a BMW. It's like no other. I drive a 5 Series, absolutely love it. After all, it is the ultimate driving machine. The other thing I love at Advantage BMW is the customer service. It is second to none. Advantage BMW has you covered. Sales, service, and finance. Get that hometown advantage. AdvantageBMWHouston.com. Proud sponsors of Soccer Matters.
Hi, this is Jim Lampley. Every sport has a champion. Every champion has a journey. Every journey has a story. Check out what's coming up on HBO.
With the World Cup underway in Russia, Real Sports with Brian Gumbo investigates why many critics of President Putin's efforts to return his country to worldwide athletic prominence have been silenced. Some of them for good. Watch it anytime on HBO Now, HBO Go, or HBO On Demand. Then on HBO World Championship Boxing, it's a night of light heavyweight title showdowns as 2-time world champion Sergey
1 minute.
belt against undefeated Elator Storm Alvarez. And undefeated Dimitri Bivol defends his title against Isaac Chilemba. Live Saturday, August 4th at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Plus, HBO Sports and NFL Films presents Hard Knocks Training Camp with the Cleveland Browns, an all-new season of the groundbreaking reality series, giving fans an all-access look at what it takes to make it in the NFL. Tuesdays at 10 p.m. kicks off August 7th. Only on HBO.
for all the stories, there's only one arena, HBO Sports.
Newly crowned MVP James Harden wants to play basketball with you. Attend the James Harden Basketball Pro Camp in partnership with Kroger, presented by a...
Just under 30 seconds till ID and hour 2 intro.
And join James July
One more time,
12th
Harrison.
and 22nd
Sorry.
at the MI3 Center.
We got 15 seconds to ID and intro.
Okay.
Visit
No callers, right?
JamesHardenCamp.com. Premier
No.
Sunday dinner.
And joined by area coaches to provide small group instruction on basketball fundamentals and fun. Reserve your spot at JamesHardenCamp.com today.
Stream us on the official ESPN 97.5 app. Presented by Saltgrass Steakhouse. KFNC Mont Bellevue, Houston. A Gow Media station.
I like this intro.
This is Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN975.com.
The second hour of Soccer Matters is brought to you by the Daspit Law Firm, DaspitLaw.com. Live from the gorgeous Gale in Rice Village, here's Glenn Davis.
Next up.
All right, welcome back to Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5. Our thanks to Peter Kingston, all the waiters and waitresses, and everybody working the floor here today at the gorgeous Gale. Again, the number to call in, 713-780-3776 when it comes to getting your World Cup thoughts. And Santiago Formoso, who played for the New York Cosmos, was from Spain when he moved to New Jersey and played for the legendary New York Cosmos. He's got a note here from him. He said, "I'm here, brother. Sad way to go, but Spain did not do enough to deserve it." I remember him once playing against an 18-year-old Diego Maradona at Giants Stadium in front of 70,000 people after Argentina had won the '78 World Cup. 713-780-3776, 713-780-3776. As we continue to roll on here, we'll take your phone calls. We're going to begin to get a little bit deeper into Mexico and Brazil. Juan Carlos Osorio vowing to attack. I don't think he's got a choice, quite frankly. I think if a Mexican team coming out to defend and use that as a priority over the course of 90 minutes is a Mexican team that's going to die to the sword of Brazil. So I don't think any question. It's exciting to hear a manager say that. Now let's see, certainly if they follow through. Getting a number of people weighing in on the shootout today. I posed the question, which is the biggest disappointment? Spain, Argentina, or Germany? Which is the biggest surprise to you? Spain, Argentina, or Germany exiting this World Cup? 713-780-3776. So Kenneth Morganson, there will be a Danish Club of Houston watch party today. Yeah, that's the one Jan Christensen was at, of Danish Inspirations Contemporary Furniture. And then he came over here to where the real party was at the gorgeous Gale. But the Danes were out in force today. You got to love that. It's a part of it. 713-780-3776 is the number. 713-780-3776 the number to call in. So let's start talking about Mexico, Brazil. We'll bring Naib Moran up. And we have seen his writings. He was on the show yesterday talking about the World Cup. Also has been a writer for ESPN FC. So Naib making his way up here. Mexico and Brazil tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. right here. Get in for the breakfast show at the Gorgeous Gale. GorgeousGale.com. That game tomorrow in Samara. It's certainly a big opportunity for Neymar to take the spotlight now, since Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal has exited, and Lionel Messi of Argentina as well. Before we get into Mexico, Brazil, Naib, and welcome back again. We appreciate all your insight. Biggest disappointment for you exiting the World Cup, Argentina, Spain, or Germany?
Look, I mean, I think the easy one to go to would be Germany, but I think I would go with Spain. You know, I think their qualifiers were excellent. You know, they had a good games against Italy, and they had that great friendly against Argentina. They put 6 past Argentina in a friendly in Madrid. You assume that everything was going to click together. But then again, the accident happened. You know, the accident when Lopetegui decided to, agree to coach Real Madrid, that kind of changed the whole thing. And we saw what happened there. You know, a manager leaves the national team 3 days before the World Cup starts, and that puts the team in some sort of turmoil. No, the players don't know what's going to happen. Everyone assumed that because Hierro was a great player, a great captain, that it was going to go the same way as a manager. But as we've seen, I think Hierro fell into traps as a manager.
What were the traps?
No, I would say that, understanding when should he have played Diego Costa. Was it all right to always play with a number 9? Knowing that the style of Spain usually had a false 9 identity, no?
But then yesterday everybody was complaining about Argentina not playing with a striker. I mean, we can second-guess managers all we want, and I agree that's a part of it. But look at the names on this team: Asensio, Isco, Silva. They had close to 80% of the ball. They were in a position to win this game. I get the turmoil around and the coach leaving, but these are guys that have played together before. Do you really think that was the priority, the fact that a managerial change was made on a day where for 90 minutes, what I don't see is I don't see the aggressive Spain. I don't see the Spain changing their tempo. I don't see the ball leaving their feet quick enough. Penetration wasn't there. I didn't see guys taking people on. What was it?
No, I mean, I think it's what I see the problem here as well is finding the right pieces or finding the right combination to work. Heading into the World Cup, he had 3 striker options: Rodrigo, Diego Costa, Iago Aspas. Iago Aspas is not the cachet name because he's coming from Celta de Vigo.
Sub.
But when he would come in, I think the team did seem to understand a little bit the movements, the spaces, and finding those combinations that tend to happen, especially with Isco and Iniesta. Because if I see those 3 strikers, Costa, Aspas, and Rodrigo, the one that's the most similar to David Villa, I think, is Iago Aspas. So let's try to build on that and try to build some momentum with that. But he really didn't receive a shot. He was always coming off the bench, Iago Aspas. He did it today. He's coming off the bench, and unfortunately, he missed one of the penalties.
But for managers, don't you think when they're really struggling to make the brave decision, they're always going to go back to the true and tried?
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that may have been Yogi Löw's problem with Germany as well, right?
Yeah.
Because
we
could have freshened that team up more. Then again, that meant maybe benching a Khedira, an Ozil.
Taking Sané.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the fallback position is always, because the other part of it is then you have a star player that, is not in your camp now as the manager. And part of being a manager is making sure that your star player is with you, right? No telling what was going on with Jorge Sampaoli and Sampaoli with Argentina. But, yeah, I think sometimes the brave decisions aren't made. I thought the teams today were not brave, all 4 of them. I thought they weren't brave. All fair play to those that advanced. I would say that anybody that advanced from penalty kicks was fortunate.
Yeah, no, and I think what you're saying is pretty clear. I mean, with Spain, the reason I consider it a failure is because he couldn't find the right combination, knowing all the talent that you just listed.
Jeez.
I mean, and all the possession they had in the game. And also it comes the crush of identities. For example, Coque, Saúl, Diego Costa, they come from Atletico Madrid. And Atletico Madrid plays a style that is not the Spanish style that has made it successful. So when you have a player like that, like Coque and Diego Costa, plugged into Spain, the players have to adapt to this style that is more direct. They have to know how to feed Costa. If you don't feed Costa, Costa becomes kind of like a ghost on the pitch. And I think that is also the difficulty.
Over-dependent on that type of a striker.
Yeah, over-dependent, and perhaps it's not fair to make Costa such a crucial element of the style of play of Spain.
Yeah,
but that's
I
how
think that's
Spain
I think that's a great point you raise. You sometimes are putting people in a position to fail, and your expectations may exceed what they can actually do.
Yeah, I mean, David Silva before the World Cup said, you know, when he was asked about how they're doing with Diego Costa and how he's just, and look, let's not take anything about Diego Costa. Costa scored goals in this tournament.
Sure,
but
in the beginning.
The result, the collective result of Spain wasn't what was expected heading into this tournament. You know, and let's put emphasis on this too, Glenn. In 2014, when Germany won the World Cup, Bayern Munich was a huge influence in that team. No, they were doing well at club level, and that translated to good form in the national team. Most of the 11 was part of the Bayern Munich. In 2010, when Spain won the World Cup, Barcelona was a big element in the obtention. You had Puyol, you had Piqué, you had Busquets, you had Xavi Hernandez, you had Iniesta. You know, and all that worked in favor of the national team. Well, here's Spain. In 2018, you know, you have good players in Real Madrid, you have good players in Atletico Madrid, you got good players in Barcelona, but the mesh wasn't there. It just never worked, you know, because Asensio and Isco come from Real Madrid, and it's a different way of seeing the game. You know, there's more of a foreign, what's the word? There's better foreigners in Real Madrid, you know, and the same can be said of Barcelona now. You know, you see Suarez, you see Messi, you see the influence that they have, Paulinho. You know, it's different times, I'd say, in the Spanish game, and a lot of time for reflection. I mean, I think no one expected them to be out at this stage.
Yeah, and I think, you know, what's interesting, too, is we sometimes forget that this is pulling a bunch of people together that have come off of long seasons. Now they've got to produce in a short tournament. They almost have to get rebooted. They don't have a chance, really, to take a collective break. And for teams that have a very clear identity, like we saw with Uruguay yesterday, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's no, you know, Godin may lose a guy on a corner and Pepe will head a ball in, but they know exactly how tactically they're going to play the game. I thought they played a perfect first 45 against
and you can
Portugal.
say that that's been the best performance from a team overall.
But they know who they are, and you can sense that they're feeling, okay, we have an opportunity to do something special here. Uruguay hasn't won a World Cup since way, way back.
Yeah.
And it would almost be like a first-time World Cup winner, strictly
for
in
many
modern
of us,
times,
exactly.
if Uruguay were to pull this off. Now, I think we saw an incredible performance from a striker in Edinson Cavani, and such a shame he went off with, I believe, is a hamstring injury, so I don't know if he's going to be available. I hope he is. I think if he's extracted from that game due to injury, that would really be kind of sad for that Uruguay-France matchup.
Yeah, no, and I'll take a lot of flavor out of it. You know, you see the potential of seeing Varane and Umtiti versus Suarez and Cavani, and that's going to generate a lot of attention and color to the game. But now it's a challenge for the ones that will receive that opportunity, no? Because like you said, Glenn, yeah, Cavani's out, but the skeleton of the team is still kind of intact. You know, you still have Suarez in there, you still have Godin, you have Jimenez, who, you know, those two center backs know how Griezmann plays. They know how he moves on the field really well. And that could play into the advantage of Uruguay, knowing how, you know, this versatile attacker. Of course, everyone's talking about Mbappe, but Griezmann is also an important element to the French national team.
Well, they're not going to have the space to run into that they had in the prior game. They're against Argentina. Uruguay is not going to leave themselves that open, and they're going to say, okay, Mbappe, you guys, Griezmann, with your movement and mobility, you're going to have to break us down because we're not going to give you a lot from behind. There's not going to be space for you to get in behind. You're going to have to recognize when we lose our shape, and you're going to have to see it quickly to take advantage of it, but it's going to be a very different type of attacking game, I believe, for them. Here's a couple tweets coming in at Twitter, Glenn Davis Sock. It was very entertaining. This is from Justin. Nice to see a young team have success. I believe he was referring to France.
Yeah.
Ruben Dominguez, my buddy who works for Fox 26. A few sparks from Spain, but Russia has been consistent with their defense. Hashtag 26 for life. Hashtag Fox 26 Houston. Chino says, in reference to Russia, what a story, so happy for the hosts, Russia. Then let's see what else we got here. Ruben Dominguez, holy Moscow. Okay, I got it, Ruben. Okay, I just got it. I'm a little slow sometimes. Yeah, I just got it. Holy Moscow. Okay. Not Santa says, this tournament has been crazy. Can't wait for Mexico, Brazil tomorrow. All right, let's get into Mexico and Brazil. Juan Carlos Osorio has said that Mexico intends to attack, will attack. Not a surprise to me. Is that anything surprising to you?
I think that has been his essence, as Mexico manager, not taking those risks and not being afraid to attack. We saw it against Germany. I mean, starting Vela, Chicharito, and Chucky Lozano, it worked well. They have that example. They have that to sort of motivate themselves and be like, okay, we did it against the defending world champion. Now we're probably playing the favorite to win this World Cup in Brazil, and then try to build those mechanisms, But I think the question here is how did the game against Sweden affect the overall, character of the team? It was
they kind of imploded in that game.
Loss,
it was a hammering. No doubt a hammering. You got to get out a jail card from South Korea.
And how do you recover from that? And how do you put everything together and enter this match with the firm motivation that you can actually get the result against Brazil? I think the results that occurred yesterday and today, especially seeing Russia eliminate Spain, is reason for motivation. To think, well, if these teams did it, why can't we?
If you need it, you already knocked Germany out. You provided the early shocker in the tournament. That had to bring some tremendous confidence. The rebooting has to come
when you can.
From a manager, staff, guys like Chicharito.
Yeah, and I think
this is a mature enough team that
I think
can
Osorio's
respond.
tenure needed a result of that sort. The Germany result solidified or gave proof that Osorio's work in the national team is actually working, even though there's a past that has had bumps, in the road. But the result against Germany kind of certifies that there is an idea that Osorio is implementing in the team. The players believe in him, which I think is important. And then tomorrow against Brazil, with what he has available, of course, the miss of Moreno is important because, first of all, he's a left center back.
Hold that thought because we're in a hard break because I want to take you into Hector Moreno, how much of a loss he's going to be. I want to begin to tactically talk about where the strengths of Mexico are and what area of their game without the ball tomorrow are they going to have to be very, very good in against Brazil, because as good as Mexico is with the ball, Brazil's certainly going to match them, if not have a little bit more of the possession in that game. So we'll talk about that when we come back. It's Mexico-Brazil, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Mexico got a lot of criticism after the Sweden loss. We expected that they've put that behind them. Brazil is a country that, quite frankly, is expecting a 6th World Cup. And they're smelling it even more because they know Germany's out. And Argentina's out, Portugal is out.
Spain is
out. A lot of the big teams are out, and people are going, wow, this is incredible opportunity. We will have to go through differing soccer nations, but the opportunity is there for both Mexico and Brazil tomorrow. We'll take a break here. Again, join me on Thursday here at the Gorgeous Gale. That'll be a 7 o'clock show. That'll be show number 3 out of 7 live that we're doing. We're going to recap what is the round of 16. We'll have live guests, giveaways, all right here in West University, 5555 Morningside Drive. This is the place to be during the World Cup. Today, a great crowd for the Croatia match against Denmark. TheGorgeousGale.com, our good friend Peter. Get out to the Gorgeous Gale. 5555 Morningside Drive. More with Naib Maran when we come back.
It's hard to find a trustworthy roofer. Joel Blank here from Fitz Roofing. Fitz Roofing is a locally owned company that can help with all your roofing needs. What sets them apart is they're a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master Company. Only 1% of roofers in the U.S. are authorized to offer the CertainTeed roofing system. Fitz Roofing also has an A+ rating in the Better Business Bureau. Sounds like a roofer you can trust, right? Go online, fitzroofing.com. That's F-I-T-Z. Fitzroofing.com. Fitz Roofing, making a difference one home at a time.
Danish Inspirations, Houston Modern Contemporary Furniture Store invites all of you soccer lovers to Danish Inspirations' beautiful showroom on 2775 Fondren. I'm Jan Christensen, president of Danish Inspirations and a soccer player for 50 years. Soccer is a great sport, and Danish Inspirations is a great modern contemporary furniture store. Go to danishinspirations.com and set your furniture goals. Goals!
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-333-1750. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-333-1750. 800-333-1750.
This is The Bench with John Granato and Lance Zierlein.
Here's the deal is Keichel's obviously coming up, and Springer's going to be coming up before Correa. I don't think they do $100 million deals with either of those guys. So I think Correa will be the next $100 million guy. I honestly think Keuchel walks. That's why you picked up Garrett Cole.
You can't just let a guy walk. You got to trade him. There's just so much value.
How do you trade him?
I know, but you can't just let a Dallas Keuchel walk. You got to move him in a blockbuster deal that loads up your minor league system.
You're going for it now. You're going to trade him this season?
No, but is he up after this season?
Yes. He's an unrestricted free agent next year.
This is highly unlikely. But if you were to have any stumbles at all, you might have to consider something like that. Because you might say, if we move him, we can get 2+ prospects.
That's not happening.
You're just going to let him walk?
I think you let him walk and you get a compensatory pick.
The Bench, weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on ESPN 97.5.
This is John.
30 seconds.
Plain started Heritage Films. Check out his website at yourheritagefilm.com. They make documentary films about you or your loved ones. Everybody has a story to tell, and trust me, you want Chance and his crew to help tell your family's story. They research everything, get all your pictures, do a long interview, and then put it all together.
10 seconds.
You'll have forever.
No callers,
Visit
right?
yourheritagefilm.com.
Not right now.
73-2429. yourheritagefilm.com.
This is a RentersWarehouse.com roadshow. Live from the gorgeous Gale in Rice Village. This is Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN975.com.
The second hour of Soccer Matters is brought to you by the Daspit Law Firm, DaspitLaw.com. Here's Glenn Davis.
Thanks, up.
All right, welcome back to the gorgeous Gale 5555 Morningside Drive in the Rice Village area. Our thanks to John Daspit and the Daspit Law Firm. They are the presenting sponsors here of the second hour. Texas Children's handles the first hour. We thank our presenting sponsors very much for their support of soccer and getting it on the radio. DaspitLaw.com. Now, we all unfortunately will at some point get in an accident with car, motorcycle, industrial. You might work construction. You might work at a plant or refinery. You might even drive an 18-wheeler. And when you do, you need support, and you need somebody that's going to cover you and will work for you 24/7 nights and weekends. And that's John Daspit and the Daspit Law Firm. They'll give you the representation you need. They'll fight for your right for compensations. It is DaspitLaw.com. They are a presenting sponsor of Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5. And a big thank you to John Daspit and the Daspit Law Firm. I do want to remind you, Twitter, Glenn Davis Sock, Facebook, Soccer Matters, Instagram, Glenn Davis Sock are places you can find us. We're going to give you also our website in a little bit for T-shirts, mugs, things that we're doing for Soccer Matters. We have a couple out here right now. So we're getting prepared for the big match tomorrow morning. It's Mexico will be taking on Brazil in the morning, and I think this is going to be certainly a highly anticipated match here in Houston. We're talking with Naib Moran. So when we left at break, we were talking about the importance of Hector Moreno. He is suspended for this game and out. Tell us about Hector Moreno, and how is Ayala going to produce a performance of a lifetime here against Brazil?
No, Ayala, an experienced Mexican center back. He's played his whole career in Liga MX, a starting center back for Tigres. And, of course, in the last years, Tigres has been one of the main Mexican clubs in the league. I think we have to make emphasis. I mean, heading into this World Cup, the starters in the center back position were Nestor Araujo and Hector Moreno. You know, Nestor Araujo didn't even make the World Cup due to an injury he suffered over there in Arlington in a friendly against Croatia, so he's out of it. So now Moreno is suspended. So there you take away Osorio the possibility of not having his two main starting center backs in his whole tenure, and now he has to improvise. You know, he puts Salcedo as a left center back and Ayala right center back. The thing though that is helpful is that Salcedo played as left center back many times with Eintracht Frankfurt in the season in this past Bundesliga. I think that Ayala did okay against Germany. That's a start that, you know, there was actually Salcedo as a right back, Ayala as a right center back, Moreno left center back, and a Gallardo as a left back. There's potential to have some switches, especially in the back line. You know, maybe there's going to be 3 in the back, maybe, with Edson Alvarez, Salcedo, and Ayala. They're switching, and then having Layun as a right wing back and Gallardo as a left wing back, and maybe doing something there in the center that could surprise a little bit Brazil. You know, there's still, I think Osorio, with what he has available, he can still surprise.
Remember, they're going up against Gabriel Jesus, Coutinho, Willian, and then Neymar, and of course Neymar and Willian they're very tricky guys because they can become inverted very quickly. I mean, obviously Neymar comes inside so much. He is not going to have Marcelo storming up the left side, so you're going to wonder how that affects Neymar. But that whole, when wingers come in inverted, boy, there's moments of hesitation when those guys get into spaces that people are looking at another guy saying, hey, you know, you're picking him up, and it's that blink of the eye that it's in the back of the net against Brazil with the caliber of those guys. So this collective defending from Mexico and the way they play without the ball tomorrow is almost, to me, the bigger issue. I know what Mexico can do with the ball. I know how good they are with the ball. When they don't have the ball, that's where they're going to have to shine tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, and we saw that 4 years ago, no? In that group stage match against Brazil, it was a 0-0 draw. And Ochoa was the main player, the player of the game in that match, the Mexican goalkeeper. So I think a performance of that sort will be needed because Brazil, with what you just mentioned, has a lot of assets in offense. And you know, they also have Paulinho, who likes to come as a surprise into the box.
Deep.
And, you know, starts deep and then all of a sudden appears as a striker and scores, you know. I think what was a detail of concern was how Herrera lost a lot of balls in the game against Sweden. You know, you can't have those type of losses against Brazil because
overpowered by Sweden.
I think that was one of the causes. No, I think Sweden really studied Mexico's midfield pretty well and break through easily. You know, whenever Mexico was high up attacking, they would be vulnerable in the back, and I think Sweden took advantage of that. You know,
past 6 World Cups, Mexico has not gotten out of the round of 16. Probably the most infamous one is when the United States knocked them out in 2002, one that still hurts.
Yeah, it still hurts.
Is there a psychological block at the round of 16? I mean, the press certainly builds it up in a major league way, but I guess there's some truth to that, and I think I think it's fair, and I think it's fair criticism. What do you think this whole round of 16 thing is? Is it a hex or? You know, what is it?
At certain moments, it kind of feels actually like a curse, no, that Mexico has to deal with. You know, they tend to play against. You know, what hurts a lot of the result against Sweden is that Mexico had a good shot of playing Switzerland in the round of 16 had they just draw with Sweden, but they lost it, and now they got to play against a 5-time world champion, and that's kind of the tendency that has occurred with Mexico. It tends to play teams that have already won the title that are considered very favorites. I mean, we saw it in 2006 World Cup when they played against Argentina. In 2010, they played Argentina again. 2014, yeah, it was the Netherlands, and the Netherlands might not have won World Cup yet, but they're always there. No, they're a team that's going to be a contender whenever they show up to the big dance. And I think now with Brazil, it's just this. It kind of feels new, at least. You know, Mexico has never played Brazil in a round of 16. And there has been events or games where Mexico has gotten the result against Brazil. You know, maybe not in a World Cup yet. You know, they have
not
never
in a
scored
World
a goal.
Cup, but
But in terms like Confederations Cup in 1999,
they've gone toe-to-toe with them in Copa Americas.
Copa Americas in 2007, I think it was a game where Mexico won 2-0 in Venezuela. 2005 Confederations in Germany, Mexico beat Brazil 1-0 over there in Germany in 2005 Confederations Cup. And now if we look at youth tournaments, in 2005 U17 tournament, Mexico beat Brazil 3-0 in the final in 2005. And players like Vela were part of that national team.
Let's reset things a little bit. So here's what we got. We know already. We have quarterfinals, Nizhny Novgorod. It will be Uruguay and France. I think the big talking point there is if Edinson Cavani is going to be available for Uruguay. That is a different challenge for France against a lower block defensive type Uruguay that has two incredible strikers, but that fitness piece will be a big one. We already have on July 7th in Sochi, you'll have Russia against Croatia. Russia will probably, one would imagine, try to repeat maybe to a degree what they did against Spain, although I would think Russia's got to try to come out and play a little bit more soccer and not sit back that deep. So there's 4 places left to be claimed for the quarterfinals. We have not talked about the second match tomorrow. We start off with Brazil and Mexico. There are going to be people that don't sleep tonight in Houston, Texas, out of anxiousness and excitement about that game, which is going to be incredible. And then you got Belgium and Japan after that. So let's talk about Belgium, because we've talked about wanting to see, at least I have, I'm up for seeing a first-time winner. I want to see somebody new win it. I want to see another country be able to claim a World Cup. There's only been 8 in the history of it. I would love to see a Belgium with Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne. They've navigated their group play the way they wanted. They've been able to rest people. They got to be heavy favorites against Japan.
No, they do. I mean, I think what they have shown in the group stage, they 9 points out of 9 possible points. Really stacked in the attack. I mean, with Lukaku and Hazard.
Yeah, Lukaku's got 4, by the way, talking about goal scores.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is also important for the momentum of the team. The team right now is heading into this knockout rounds with the idea that they can beat anybody. And I think that says a lot about where they at right now. When you try to find if there's weakness points with Belgium, you think about Witsel, who plays in China. And not having that intensity, and if they play an intense team, could that end up affecting a little bit? Not having that intensity that the Champions League tournament gives you. Having those minutes or whatnot. And Carrasco the same way. He plays in China as well.
Well, intensity ratchets up in the round of 16. So let's see how that gets lifted by Roberto Martinez in Belgium.
De Bruyne is playing deep as well, so he's more of a creator
an organizer, really a controller, a guy that really is, with his range of passing, trying to bring everybody into the game. The interesting thing for me is seeing Thierry Henry on the bench for Belgium, wondering why the heck France didn't get him to work with their strikers. He's on the bench and has been working with Lukaku and all the strikers for Belgium. We're going to take a quick break here, 55-55 Morningside. We're going to a little bit here. We're going to finish out strong here. We'll be back here on Thursday. Everybody's going to be coming here tomorrow to watch Mexico kick it off against Brazil in the morning. Then in the afternoon, one of the tournament favorites, quite frankly, Belgium, who has never won a World Cup, will be taking on Japan. 713-780-3776 is the number to call in. 713-780-3776. We've been talking to Naib Moran, writer, podcast, you name it. He's done it. He has followed the Mexican League, the Mexican national team, formerly of ESPN FC, very up on everything Mexico and the world of soccer. Before we go to break here, we just want to remind you again about Advantage BMW. I've driven a BMW for years. In fact, I've leased and owned from Advantage in Midtown. They love soccer down there. They're loving the World Cup. They've got all kinds of great buys down there and things going on. If you like the ultimate driving machine, then you want to drive a BMW. The other thing is the customer service, which was a big piece to me. Customer service is second to none. Advantage BMW has you covered. Sales, service, finance, it can be done easy. Get the hometown advantage at Advantage BMW Midtown, AdvantageBMWHouston.com. Go down there, Philip Southwick, Justin McGahee, Sergio Martinez, all guys that love the sport of soccer, and you'll notice that the people that advertise on Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5, they are all lovers of soccer, and they're all into the World Cup. We'll take a Bud Light break. We'll come back. We got more to come here. Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5.
With a catchy chorus and beat so they can sing along.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. After I left baseball, I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. Turns out, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to get into shape. So I got back into the game with Nugenics. I'm feeling stronger with a lot more energy and drive. You want to get back into shape? Get Nugenics. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Frank's right. Just text BODY to 321-321 to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And guys, she'll like the difference too.
Nugenic samples are not available in stores. To get your complimentary bottle, text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
For FM Kitchen and Bar. It's located 1 block north of Washington on Shepherd. Now hit up FM Kitchen and Bar this summer to watch the World Cup from Russia on 13 indoor and outdoor monitors. FM Kitchen and Bar has amazing burgers, chicken sandwiches, and Southern classic food, including ribs, great beer selection, and classic cocktails done well.
Check.
FM Kitchen and Bar also
Yep, gotcha.
All right,
is
just making sure this works.
friendly. Catch the World Cup at FM Kitchen and Bar.
The Sugarland Skeeters are back for another exciting homestand.
2 minutes.
For Margarita and Dollar Dog Monday, plus Mondays are Military Mondays. Fans with military ID get in free. Tuesdays are 2 for Tuesdays, so buy one, get one field box tickets. Then on Wednesdays, kids 12 and under get free admission. Don't miss out on Thirsty Thursdays, $2 beer and sodas. Fridays are always exciting with post-game fireworks shows. Sugarland Skeeters games are always affordable family fun. Check out the schedule and get your tickets now at SugarlandSkeeters.com.
Cool off from
1 minute.
Splash Bash. Take advantage of complimentary adult beverages and food for all guests, as well as giveaways and swag from awesome vendors, while enjoying fun water games like slip and slide kickball and a wet and wild inflatable obstacle course. Don't want to get wet? We'll have plenty of other games to enjoy. A portion of all ticket sales will go directly to Oak Stats Club, a local nonprofit youth sports organization. Log on to eventbrite.com and search Splash Bash to get your tickets now.
Attention homeowners, when's the last time you had your AC service? Is it ready for another brutal summer? Call Courtesy Air Conditioning and Heating today. Whether your current system needs a routine service check or you need a whole new system, Tom, Brad, and the certified techs at Courtesy AC.
15 seconds.
Servicing the Houston area for over 30 years, Courtesy AC
Is this
available to
Harrison
service
last
and repair
segment?
your residential or commercial
Or
system.
no?
Call
How many more we got?
713-278-9933.
Yes.
Last one. How long is this?
Is it Courtesy AC?
Stand by.
Okay.
I have 2 more segments. 1 more break in between, and then the final break.
Okay.
This is a RentersWarehouse.com roadshow. Live from the gorgeous Gale in Rice Village. This is Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN975.com.
The second hour of
So yeah, 2 more. Sorry.
the Daspit Law Firm. DaspitLaw.com.
Play a goal call.
Here's Glenn Davis.
Precisely the start Spain wanted, but Russia caught nothing, defending at the set piece.
Ended up being an own goal, not credited to Sergio Ramos. But that was the early exchange. 713-780-3776, 55-55 Morningside Drive is where we are. The early exchange came 2 goals in the first 4 minutes between Denmark and Croatia. Denmark would come out. That was an own goal as well to start the game. 713-780-3776. So tomorrow morning, Brazil and Mexico. And then we have Belgium and Japan in the afternoon. The following day, we have Sweden taking on Switzerland. We can talk about that again as well. And then Colombia and England. We got a roundtable going on here for the next 2 segments. Naib Moran, now from Soccer Matters, also joining us. Victor Ariza. Victor, thank you for hopping on the mic here.
No problem.
And I guess I'll ask you the first question that I asked Naib when he came on. Biggest disappointment, Argentina, Germany, or Spain?
Has to be Germany. It has to be Germany because they went out in the group stage. I mean, Argentina still, fixed it a little bit. They at least got to the round of 16. Disappointment because they didn't go farther. They didn't win the group. But, dude, hands down, it has to be Germany because this is the reigning World Cup champion. They are stacked. They dominated the Confederations Cup last year with their youth. And then they come into this team and they flop. They were too slow. They get beaten by the 3 other teams in their group.
We have a caller, Novo.
Hey, we'll get to Novo, yeah.
Novo, what do you got on your mind? 713-780-3776. What do you got to say, Novo?
Hey, Glenn, how you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
All right, that's good. This is a great World Cup, man. I miss the fact that the U.S. is not in it because we would have had a clear path to the championship. Because with Italy out, not in there, with Netherlands not there, and now Argentina is out, Spain is out. Man, I can see the U.S. right there at the semifinals. But we got hope because the young boys that we have right now in the U.S., I think we're going to win it in 2028.
Well, the good news is, that's the silver lining.
To win it in 2026.
That's the silver lining. The silver lining in not qualifying is I think we've accelerated the process of trying to improve what's going on with soccer in this country. I think it's going to bring some other people, hopefully, to the table. But what you've just mentioned with the young talent that have been on the under-20 and under-17 national teams, they're getting opportunity now that they never would have gotten if in fact, the U.S. would have qualified. It would have been the same old, same old. This is accelerating the moving on of the Clint Dempseys and all these legendary players because they're not going to be a part of the next World Cup. I don't know if you saw, the U.S. just released a schedule of friendlies that are going to take place, and it's all big-name teams. All big-name teams. It's not these usual friendlies. They're going to try to put these kids, if they're smart, into real cauldrons against the world's best and to really give them the opportunity to make mistakes, blood themselves, and accelerate the development. I don't think any question. So that's the silver lining in not being here, and in some ways it may have been the healthiest thing that could have happened. I know we don't have all the nationalistic pride going on, not being participants in this. We can look at it from that angle as well.
But Glenn, I don't know. You have an inside track. I think the network television stations and the radio stations, I must give credit to ESPN and Fox because they are trying to promote soccer, which is good, but they are not doing it consistently in a way that will give them good results. And I'll tell you this. If you want to televise games, make it standard that on, say, 10 o'clock every Sunday or 11 o'clock every Saturday, if I turn on this channel, I will see a MLS soccer game. You don't have to move it around. This Sunday is 5 p.m. The next week is 3 p.m.
I agree.
With that rate, you are not able to measure, as a metric, measure the amount of viewers, because viewers, when they come in, it's not here today, then next week they're not going to tune in. So let's make the broadcast to be constant. Because if you look at the World Cup, even with the U.S. not participating, the ratings from U.S. viewership is quite high. Because a lot of my buddies at work and everybody, we are watching it. So soccer is big in this country. If we can actually tailor it, so we can get the yardstick to measure and have the advertisers come in.
Yeah, no, I think I think what you're saying is incredibly important. I think what you have to factor in, though, and this is, you know, the part of television that's difficult for soccer is it's very difficult to have a consistent time slot because of some of the other programmings that go on. I think this is real commentary that you're providing here because you do want to make it easy for people.
Okay, how about MLS TV? Have a TV station where we know that, like, for instance, the American NFL football, I know by 11 a.m. on Sundays, it's going to be on. So let's get a TV channel. We know constantly by 3 p.m. on Sunday, the game is on. So I'm telling you, if you do that, you will be able to get better ratings than we are getting now. And the one more point I wanted to make again. Now, Glenn Davis, you do a great job, you know, promoting soccer all across this country. But we need more than one Glenn Davis. Because no matter how great you are, if we have two of you, then we can move the needle more. So we need to have more people on television and on radio talking about soccer instead of having some eggheads who say, oh, hey, I don't know nothing about soccer. Soccer is boring. Guess what? The most boring sport I've ever heard of is called baseball. But yet, you put it on TV. So we need more Glenn Davis so we can have more visibility because the demographics in this country is on the side of soccer.
Well, I would look at what you just said, and first of all, thank you. That's very kind. But what I would also add to that is we need more dynamic leadership in the front office of MLS teams. I think we need more dynamic leadership in our youth communities. I think we need more decisions that are made for the passionate people like you in the game, and not for a variety of other reasons. We are missing a lot of things from that standpoint. Look at our town here, and look, I'm as big a fan as there can be for the return of professional soccer in the Houston Dynamo. But the Houston Dynamo live in a bubble, unfortunately, in Houston. They do not get any criticism from anybody in a healthy way. They get no newspaper coverage. They have no mainstream coverage. They want it, but they don't get it. And that healthy pressure is not felt by not only the visionaries of the club, but the player or the coaches either. They don't feel it. They're living in a bubble.
Let me tell you a secret. Yeah, let me tell you a secret. If you make me the GM of Dynamo for just 1 month, okay, I will increase attendance by 50%.
Tell me what you would do.
I will. So what? Hello?
Tell me what you would do.
Okay, one. You see, we have a lot of faith communities here in Houston. Faith communities. I will reach out to the faith communities. Those young kids of color, I will market soccer to the inner cities. The black kids, the Latinos are already engaged. The black kids, I'll bring you people from the church. As soon as you're leaving the church, you're coming to the Dynamo game. Okay? Because soccer is very family friendly. And you have a lot of immigrant communities. You bring them in, you bring packages, involve the churches and the schools and the communities. You know, father time, you know. We have fathers that are trying to connect with their kids, their sons.
You know how much time and effort that takes to get into those communities. You got to be willing to spend the time. It's
money. It takes money, but if you invest in it, you're going to get the results.
Agreed. How about if I just say this? What about penetrating the Nigerian community? What about the Nigerian community and all these the Honduran community? What more can be done for those communities to get them out?
I'll tell you this now. Okay. The way you can also get them out, the way I talked about the outreach to the churches now, that's the same way you can reach the Nigerian community. For instance, we have the Nigerian Foundation. We have the various ethnic associations in Nigeria. When you reach to them, give them packages. Okay, hey, this is 100 tickets. You know, we're going to, because, you see, it's like a hook, a bait. We can just donate like maybe 10 tickets to the association. They want you guys to come up. When they show up next time, they're going to come back and buy a ticket.
All right, you stay with me on during this commercial break because we got to go to commercial break. You stay with me. This is a very healthy conversation. I really like what you're saying. There are a lot of things we can do to make the MLS product more inclusive, I think. I don't think there's any question. I want to ask you about pricing and things like that, ticket pricing, concessions, and how that all plays into it as well as we'll continue to do our study, our case study here. And we'll weave in Naib and Victor on this as well. But I think this is very interesting that you've brought this up at this point because, you know, for me, having come here in 1984 and seeing the growth of the sport and knowing how big it is here in Houston, I want to see healthy pressure rise for everybody.
Yeah,
I want more people calling this show going, Glenn, no, you're wrong. And here's why you're wrong, and I want to give you my reasons why you're wrong. But no, look, stay with me. I got to go to break. Stay with me. You're not going anywhere. Stay with us. We'll take a quick break here. Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5 from the gorgeous Gale 55-55 Morningside. Let's take a Bud Light break and come back with some healthy conversation.
Here, and it's time to get rid of last year's junk, and that means the clunker that's in your driveway. Donate it now to the Texas Can.
2.5 minute break here.
To HoustonCarsForKids.org, filling out the form, and they'll be.
We'll have about 7 minutes when we get back.
Okay.
It's a tax-deductible donation, and if you donate today and mention ESPN 97.5,
can take a copy of that if you want.
$50 gift card. You're helping out the kids. You're helping out yourself, getting a fresh start for 2018. Texas Can Academies, right off the car, not the kid.
It was said that God created men, but it was Sam Colt who made them all equal. Howdy friends, I'm DWI Specialist Attorney Gary Trichter. The Colt Single-Action Army Revolver was the gun that won the West. Known as the Peacemaker, it could fire 6 times without reloading. If you've been arrested for DWI, who is your peacemaker? I've been defending DWI cases for more than 30 years. I'm one of only 4 DWI specialists in the state, past dean of the National College for DUI Defense, and past president of the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. I've spoken at more than 280 legal seminars in 30 states.
Open yet.
I teach lawyers, judges, and prosecutors about the law, particularly DWI. I have a common-sense understanding of flawed police science and just how unfair police sobriety tests are to you.
Allows me to watch the
so
game.
if you've been arrested for DWI, let me be your great equalizer. Call me here in Houston at 713-524-1010. Put it on your cell phone. Heck, carve it in your saddle. Or Google TexasDWILaw.com.
Hey, Glenn Davis here.
1 minute.
For my friends at Advantage BMW Midtown. Now I've driven
Yeah, thank you very much. Good stuff.
Numerous
Harrison, remind me my caller's name, please.
Novo.
Novo, that's right.
Series absolutely love it. After all, it is the ultimate driving machine. The other thing I love at Advantage BMW is the customer service. It is second to none. Advantage BMW has you covered. Sales, service, and finance. Get that hometown advantage. AdvantageBMWHouston.com. Proud sponsors of Soccer Matters.
Hey guys,
30 seconds.
Got it.
Favorite thing to throw on the grill is Zumo's Boudin. Trust me, you're going to love it. Zumo's Boudin is a seasoned pork and rice dressing stuffed in a sausage casing. I love to grill it to get
So
the
we got
casing
6-7
nice
minutes,
crispy,
right?
But it can be smoked, steamed, or
Okay.
you could put it on saltine crackers, on a bun, or by itself. It's so easy to cook and great.
10 seconds.
Family gatherings are just a quick meal. It's fantastic any way you cook it. So try some Zumo's Boudin today, and you'll know exactly why it's my new favorite thing to grill this summer. Zumo's Boudin.
This is a RentersWarehouse.com roadshow. Live from the gorgeous Gale in Rice Village. This is Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN975.com.
The second hour of Soccer Matters is brought to you by the Daspit Law Firm, DaspitLaw.com. Here's Glenn Davis.
What's up?
All right, welcome back to Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5, 55-55 Morningside. Drive is where we are. We hope you like coffee, by the way. We had some Soccer Matters ESPN 97.5 coffee mugs out here. Those are etched in gold, by the way, so nobody knows that. There's some gold. There's some fine gold etching on those. 713-780-3776. Novo is on the line. Novo, I want to let you just sum up what you wanted to say. I'm going to give you about a minute and a half. Sum up the rest of what you wanted to say.
Yes. So what I was going to finally say is that we can also reach out to the business communities. If you look, for instance, the oil sector here in Houston, you have a lot of international expats, a lot of expats from overseas. Now, in most of these places, we have local soccer games, so we can reach out to them with packages and bring them to the game, So first, the organization has to invest, public relations. You have to invest in outreach.
Do you feel like the organization? Hey, hold on 1 second, Nova. Do you feel like the organization is not investing enough in marketing and promotion and reaching out?
No, they are not. They are not. No, they are not. Because I'm telling you, aside from what you do on TV commercials, you need to reach out, boots on the ground, boots on the ground, boots on the ground.
Get into the grassroots. I get it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get it.
Get into the grassroots, you know. Organize some local, for instance, what is wrong with Dynamo organizing some local friendly competitions between the Mexican community and the African community, you know, and they come there, present some free tickets to come to the game.
How about the product? How about the product, Novo?
No,
the product is
good.
exciting, right?
MLS,
Right? Elise,
no, the product is exciting. MLS is
we
great.
have
In fact,
exciting
I'll tell you
product
this,
here with Elise
my
and
favorite
Kyoto.
team- my favorite team right now is Atlanta United because I love their brand of soccer. And number 3 on the list is actually the Dynamo. I have Atlanta United, I have New York NYCFC, and then the Dynamo. So Dynamo used to be number 1, but I'm telling you, ATL, they're for real.
All right, Novo, we appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for this. Don't be hesitant to call in again, and I thank you for all your thoughts here. Some really good, interesting things to think about.
Anytime.
All right,
Thanks,
that's
Thanks.
Novo.
Well, I appreciate you.
So, hey, enjoy the rest of the World Cup, too. Keep it going.
Okay, you too now.
All right. Thank you, Novo. So that's really interesting stuff. So I take it to you guys, Naib and Victor. We have an exciting product here. We have a winger-based team with Albert Elise. We have a
But you know who else has an exciting product?
Just let me finish. All I wanted to say was we have a winger-based team that's entertaining at home, scores goals, and it wins. Novo just said it's an exciting team. He's from the Nigerian community, I believe. What's not to like about the product here in Houston at home? Not talking about the road.
Oh, it's a good product, but nobody knows about it. I mean, what you know, Portland has a good product, Atlanta has a good product, Seattle has a good product, but they have eyeballs on that product. People know them. People, you know, Atlanta United, 70,000 people a game, right, or every other game, something like that. I mean, people know the Almirons and the Joseph Martinez, and they see them on ESPN and they see him on Fox.
Novo just pointed out their
he
playing
says
style.
that,
So playing style and the way the game is played is ultra important. And I think the Dynamo took a step up with the roster they
they absolutely
assembled.
did.
You know, it was very hard to watch at times.
Oh, with Atlanta
and it was
United,
slow and methodical. And now we have these two wingers that are blazing, exciting players that are in the heads of every manager on every opposing team.
Yeah, well, you see with Atlanta United, they bring in Martino, this new manager coming from with exceptional experience. And you see New York City FC bringing Patrick Vieira. Of course, Vieira wasn't, a renowned coach in Europe or whatnot. He was learning, basically coming here and learn. But he's different, he has he's part of the Arsenal team that had a fantastic run, and I think bringing ideas from abroad has helped those teams be so important. Here with Houston, I think it's finding a ways.
They spent money on players, those two organizations.
Exactly.
They spent a ton of money on those players.
1 minute.
And I think that's something that Dynamo has to look at, of how to export their brand, not just be a team from Houston.
Guys, I got to wrap it up here because Harrison's saying back in studio 1 minute. Victor, thank you very much for everything that you do. Naib, you, Tascott, Tyler Scott over here. I appreciate that. And back in studio, Harrison, all going on. 713. What is it? And I thank Drew out here with the promotions team. Drew, I have to give you props. And and Ashley. No. Who? Tysa. I'm sorry, Tysa. Tysa's mad at me. Oh, man, I just got a bad look. Okay, Tysa, you get a free Soccer Matters mug. Okay, we're gonna take care of you, Tysa, and a soccer ball and a bracelet. Okay, now I'm okay, right? It's all right. I forget my own name sometimes. We're gonna wrap it up here from 55 Morningside. It is the gorgeous Gale. It's been a long day out here, going extra time, going penalties. But what we did see today, we saw Croatia and Russia advance. Tomorrow morning, right here, the gorgeous Gale, 9 a.m. It is Mexico and Brazil. Get some sleep. It's going to be good tomorrow. Good night, everyone.
All clear. Good show.
Tasha, hold on. Let me bow down here. Okay, Tasha, hold on.